Welcome to the third session for Microsoft Dynamics Nav Functional Training conducted here at TeleNoc. And we will begin with, this is our agenda for today, which the points which we are going to discuss. These are going to cover the things that the IT department is generally responsible of. And from the upcoming sessions, we will go into the details with every department. So we're starting with the IT department, which is definitely the department who's responsible for setting up the system for the entire company. And they are the ones who are creating new users, assigning profiles to them, so on and so forth. So if we want to discuss about the user profiles, let me just open now. Great. So profiles are something that are used to manage the view of the system, how the system looks, and profiles are usually dependent on a user's role in the company. So a certain user, for example, a finance manager, he has a certain role in the company, and there are certain things that are relevant to him and others are not relevant to him. So he does not want to see all the things. Likewise, there are users for whom we want to limit the entire system. We don't want them to roam around in the system and poke around in order to make sure that they don't mess up everything. So according to a user's role in the company plus his expertise, we can manage all this through the profiles. There is one level is profiles, the other level is permissions, user permissions, which we are going to discuss in the later sessions. So if you can see, just give it a second. Okay. Yeah. So if you can see, if on my RoleCenter page, the first thing it says is the accounting manager. Okay. So this is my profile. How do you check the profiles? You can either search from up here, or you can go through the long way is from departments to administration to users. Hold on just 1 second. Let me. It's not scrolling. 1 second. I'm messing something up. Okay. So I want to go to the profiles. Now to save time, I will go to the profiles. Okay. The second link. These are the profiles, the default profiles in the system. So if you can see here, every role in the company has a profile. So we have the IT manager, we have the accounting manager, we have the accounts payable coordinator, we have the accounts receivable coordinator. So somebody who is going to accounts payable coordinator is somebody who is going to be connected with the vendors to follow up with their payments, to follow up with their trial balances, and all these things. And an AR coordinator is somebody who is going to be linked with the customers to follow up with their payments, to receive the payments, to register their checks, to register their rest of the activities, create new customers maybe, or for the AP coordinator to create new vendors. So these are pretty much the profiles that we have in the system. These are default profiles. Then we have the functionality to either create a new profile or copy an existing profile. So I'll tell you what happens. First of all, I will show you one profile card, how it looks. Okay, so this is where you create a profile. This is already created, so I'm just going to show you. So this is the profile ID. Definitely everybody knows about the ID. It's an identification, a unique identification of that record. Okay, So we call this as the primary key. Anything that is going to be the the identification of a record. For example, for an item, the identification is the number, the item number. So that is a primary key for that record. Similarly, in a profile, the primary key is the profile ID. The secondly, you have the description. Then you have something called the role center ID. So role center is basically the role center page, the main page, the first page that when we log in, we see that page. So you have a set number of role center pages in the system, and based on those role center pages, you can customize many profiles. Just give it a second. I think there is something wrong with my PC. Okay. Okay, so this is the list of all the available role centers, and these are not necessarily a user role specific. They are generic and specific as well. So if you can see here, you have account receivable admin and account payable coordinator RC role center, and you have sales manager. So these role center pages are pre-existing in the system, and you can definitely customize more pages, but these will mostly suffice you. They will serve the purpose, because you're not going to use them as it is. You're obviously going to edit them according to your requirement. So this is the strategy. We keep the role center page as is. We pick one, okay, and we build upon that. So for this accounting manager, the role center selected is 9001, which is the accounting manager role center. Okay, makes sense. It's the same. And then you have something called default role center. Default role center, what it means is that if you have this Boolean checked, it will make sure that if a new user is created and he is not assigned a profile, this profile will become his default role center or default profile. So there can only be one default role center in per company. Okay, so if you can see here, we can find it. So this one, the sales order processor, is marked as the default role center. You can see here, it's the Boolean is checked. So the other Boolean is called the disable personalization. What it means is that if you have checked this this Boolean, the user who is logging in with this profile will not be able to add a new button, or remove a button, or even customize the navigation pane. He will not be able to customize anything, remove anything, or do anything, customize in the layout or in the UI of the system. So this is to limit anybody from adding new functionalities for themselves. So this, if this Boolean is checked, he will not be able to add or remove anything from his role center. Then the other things are for document storage, which are the use record notes. You have a link of a notebook, okay, and you have if you have an idea about the OneNote is basically a feature or a product from Microsoft, which is used for intra-company documentation. For example, there is one what you call repository for all the records, and then you have folders in that. So you have, for example, you have all your sales staff can be on one folder. So if you give the link to that folder, and I attach anything for this profile, for example, I have selected the Boolean. I've given the link to the sales rep folder in my OneNote account. So it will automatically save anything that I attach to a record. It will save there. Okay, and page notes is the same idea. Okay, and this is related to the pages, the card pages. Okay, any record that is stored in, for example, a sales order will be stored here, but any record that is saved on a page, okay, for example, a contract with the customer is saved, it will be saved in the page notebook. Okay, so this is pretty much about the profile. So what we will do is we will go on and copy a profile. and we will do our next steps based on that profile. So I'm going to do is copy the accounting manager profile. Okay, I will name it as uh, senior or CFO. I'll call it CFO, Chief Finance Officer. Okay, so we can also name this is the code, so we can call it CFO, and we'll change the description. So okay, okay. So I see that my CFO is created, but the description is the same. So I will just go on and change the description. Chief Finance Officer. Okay. So all the rest will be the same. I don't want to change anything here. This is not going to be the default role center. This I will allow the person who is assigned to this profile to do the personalization, and that's pretty much it. Now we have created the profile. The next logical step is to assign this profile to a user. Okay. So what we're going to do is head over to the area called user personalization. Okay, so here naturally this is my own database, so I have only one user. So we can actually, I think I have another user on my PC, so I'll use that. So if you create new, you'll find all your users that you have in your system. So I'll just take this user, okay, and assign this user the new profile that we just created. CFO language ID, we have only one language in the system currently, so we'll just select that, English. 1 second, this is I think 1003. Yeah, and company. So if for example you have a user, if you have multiple company in your system, okay, you have 2-3 companies in the same database, and one user has multiple roles in different companies. So one user can be a CFO in one company and accounting manager in another company. So you can, this can be company specific. So you can have your user, his profile is linked to a specific company. So if you link it to the specific company, his what you call his view will be according to the CFO profile in one company and according to the other profile in the other company. So we're just going to select this one, click OK, and we're done here. Now we have created the profile, but we have not yet customized it the way we want it to look. Okay, so what we're going to do now is something which is called the customize the role center. Okay, so I will just follow this path. I want you guys to note this path as well. Go to your C drive, go to your program files 86 folder. You find Microsoft Dynamics Nav, which is this one. Go to the instance, go to the role tailor client, and you have to actually find the exe file, or yeah, so I will just write Microsoft.dynamics.nav.client.exe. So I need this one. This is the exe file, the application file for Microsoft Dynamics Nav. So I'll just copy this path. And actually what I'm doing is I'm actually creating a shortcut for the role center. So I will create a new shortcut and give the path as this. Next, and I'm done. So now what I want to do is I want to open my this profile in the customization mode. Okay, so if I want to customize it, I will just go to the properties. In the target field, what I will do is I will add a string. So the string will be space dash configure space dash profile. I don't know what this is called, double dot, whatever this is. Hyphen, this is hyphen. I think my colleague is saying it's a hyphen, so I take his word. So okay, we will just put open the inverted commas. We will say here quote unquote. We'll say here CFO. This is the code for, or the ID for that profile. So we're good to go now. We'll just apply this and okay. So we open it here. Right. So I want you to notice the difference here. Let me go to the RoleCenter page. Okay. So this is my RoleCenter page. Do you notice this difference, that this is showing the company name, but this is showing that this is configuration mode for this profile. For which profile? For this accounting manager profile. Okay. So we have actually, this is something I need to check one thing here. This is configuration. Okay, fine. This is configuration mode. Now I need to customize this profile. What I will do is just go to the customize navigation pane. For example, I need to customize the navigation pane. What I will do is I will remove the things that I don't want from here. Remove, I need to remove the, for example, the VAT statements. I need to remove items. I need to remove this. Okay, remove. Okay, right. So I have removed all these things. Okay, and now the other thing I need to do is, if you can see here, these are all called the containers. These are containers, and I need to create a new container. I will say that I will create a new container with, I can say that row trial balances. Okay, so I will assign it a badge. I will say that this will be this, and okay. So I've created a container. Now I need to put some stuff in this container. So I will just go to the add, and I will find the things that I need to put. For example, I will say I need to put the, for example, I'll put this just to, just to show you. And I will go to my purchasing, go to my, okay. So I'll just put these things here, okay, just to show you. So we have actually created a new container, and we have put these items or these two links here. So once we click OK, it will save these changes. It will reload, and now if you can see that the things that we removed are removed, and the new what you call the new container that we created is here, and it has all these information, these links. Okay, so this is, I'll tell you where this is useful. This is useful once you want to centralize the the vision is centralized, and only one department is going to manage how the system is going to work. So one second, I think this is going to disconnect. Okay, we still have time. Okay, we still have time. Right. So this is going to manage the, for example, if I'm in the IT department and I don't want anybody else to, add new features for themselves or remove features from themselves. This way, I will block all the profiles to edit themselves, and I will centralize that anybody who needs to add a new feature has to contact the IT department. And this is usually how it works, because the bigger companies, they want to centralize their tasks. Okay, so likewise, if I want to, for example, if I go to the purchase invoices, I'll click new. I will say that, if you can see, these fields were hidden before. When I clicked show more fields, it showed me more fields. How do you manage that? This is quite simple. Go to this area, drop down menu, go to customize, you can go to customize this page, and you go to the fast tabs. So actually, these are all this general, this lines, this is all fast tabs. So I'll click general and I will customize fast tab. Okay, so for example, I need to put address where I can see it directly. So I will just say that this field's importance is either promoted or standard. So I will say it is standard for now. Okay, and I will say that my city is also promoted. Okay, so click OK. I will click OK again. It will reload the page, and I will say show for your fields, and you can see that the two fields that I promoted are showing here now. Why this is done? Sometimes most of the detail is not needed by the user, but they might need it in some scenarios. So we don't want them to see every time, just to, not to clog their view. We just manage it through this importance area in the customized fast tab. So if I have blocked from the back that the customer cannot, the user cannot customize his own pages, he would have to come back to me and ask me that I need to see these fields in my priority area. Okay, the same goes for this, for the lines. One second. Okay, so I will say, I will customize my choose column. I'll go to choose column, and the same way I will streamline the view for the user. I will say that I don't need, for example, the location code. I don't need the two types. I will just remove one type, and I will only have the percentage. I will not have the amount for the discount. We'll just remove this, and okay. So what this is doing is, you're again centralizing the task here. The user does not want to see all the details, and they want to have a quick experience for Dynamics Nav. They don't want to have all these fields showing up for them, and they get confused that I need to put data in this, or I don't need to put data in this. So whatever is necessary for them, according to their requirement or according to their business process, we'll add those fields only. Okay, and now, so any changes that you are doing here now is going to reflect to any user who's assigned to this profile. So if any user who has the profile that we're working on, and he opens his system, he will see these changes done to his profile. They will not be live or runtime. So for example, if you're doing the changes here, they will be reflected right away there. It's not like this. They have to restart their Navision session. Okay, so this is about customizing the profile. Okay, we have actually covered the points for editing a profile. We have edited the RoleCenter page. We have added a new container. And the card pages, this is the card page. I'll go to the customer. Okay. I will, for example, open a customer. And in the same way, you can promote a field or you can hide a field. Same thing. Go to your customize area. Go to the customize this page. Go to the fast tabs. And for example, I need to hide some stuff from the general fast tab. So I will say that I don't need this. Okay, this is already additional. For example, let me find something that is standard. Okay, in the standard. Okay, I will say that costs. I'll remove that from standard to additional. Click OK. Again. And the cost is now going to be shown here in the additional. So if I collapse the view, it will not show me the cost. If I show more fields, it will show me the cost. Okay. So this is the same way you're working with all the pages. You can customize the list pages in the same way. You can change the width of the columns. You can add new columns, remove the columns. This is how you do it in this area. Okay. Done with this. Now field visibility is also covered. If you guys have any questions from this session or from the previous session, or you want me to explain something else, you can please go on.
Yes, Mr. Mohammed Hassan.
Yes.
As an IT guy, this configuration mode, it will be in his desktop for any user, for any profile he need to change, only he can log in from here.
Yes, actually this can be on the server. Okay, in the nav server you will have all these links. So the best practice is that, for example, you have created this RoleCenter client, what you call shortcut. So what you will do is just name it that this is for the CFO profile. Okay, so this way you will know that which profile you want to configure. You will just open the link and you will just remove or add anything you want.
Okay, but this profile, when you enter it, it came like accounting manager. It does not change the name to the chief finance.
I think I skipped a step in the. Ideally, it should pick the
RoleCenter ID are same for both accounting manager and.
Yeah, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. They can be same. It should pick this description. Just restart this. All right, so I need to check why it's picking the same name. CFO. Okay, 1 second. I'm not really sure why it's picking this the same name, because it does not happen like this. It should pick the new description.
What is the function of the system and tenant? Right now they are showing system and tenant.
I will get back to you on that.
Okay.
I frankly have no idea, because this is in the 2018 version, and I frankly have no idea about the tenant.
Yeah.
Tenant is like its technical part. Maybe I will explain on next
Yeah,
session.
sure, you can go on.
Oh, okay. We will cover in the next
session. You can.
Hello.
Yes, Selva.
Tenant is nothing but it's like maintaining the database. For example, right now we have 5 POS system and 1 HO system. So if we are doing any changes, we will have to update the object in all 6 database one by one. To avoid this, we use tenant concept. In this tenant, what we will do is like we will keep one tenant ID. So all the object will be centralized, and this object will be consumed by all POS and HO. So if any object deployment, we will deploy only in the tenant. That's all.
Okay, fine.
Thank you very much, Selva. It was great. Thank you very much. We didn't know about this. Okay, I will check this while speaking the same name. I'll get back to you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Anything else?
And I want to ask one more thing. And I've created a company in Navision.
Okay.
And I've created a separate VM and installed Navision again there.
Okay.
I want to import that company. How to import the same company?
You want to import the same database?
Yeah.
So you just have to take the backup from that from that database and import in the database for the VM. You have installed SQL there, right?
No, it's not working right now. Can I show you?
Maybe you need to remove the user or there's something, because usually
Yeah. It shows you have you should create a user for that.
yeah, for that there is Salva will also help me out, but there is one query for this. 1 second, I'll tell you. Just give it a minute.
Mohammed Hassan, in 5 minutes, this will disconnect the link.
Yes,
If
we are all,
it is enough, well, we need to log again.
I just need to show this query to Adil, and I think we're done.
There is no any task from your side to assign it to.
I will assign in this 5
Okay.
minutes. Okay. So Adil, for example, you have this database and you need to delete the users from this. There is a query by delete from okay, delete from user, this one. This one. And the other is delete from access control. This one, and okay, this if you execute this query, this should fix your problem.
Okay, I will try that.
Selva, is it right?
Yeah. Actually, the reason behind this one is like whenever you log in first time with the Navision database, if system doesn't have any user ID, automatically whatever ID we are logging in, it will consider as an admin. So this query, what it will do, it will delete all the users in your database. So basically, once if you execute this query, it will delete all the users. So it will not have any user in your database. So when you try to log in, system will think, okay, this is the first user. So it will automatically consider your ID as admin ID. So there will not be any permission issue. You can able to log in.
So I have to use this query in VM, no?
Whichever the database you should have like a SQL. So you have to open same like this, and you have to select your database, which database you are trying to connect. So you have to execute in that database.
Okay, fine.
All right, guys. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So for the assignment for everybody is that you need to create a new profile in the system, assign it to a user that you've already created, customize the profile, okay, and I need you to show that profile to me in the next session.
Create new profile, customize the profile.
Yeah, so you can either create from scratch by clicking new, or you can copy an existing profile. It's up to you.
Okay.
Right, so I hope you guys had a good time today, and looking forward to the next session tomorrow on Saturday, I believe, with God.